The following is a fan-based discussion. All properties discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, Hasbro, and Subaru Productions.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Tokupitch. It's my turn today, and I'm gonna be real honest, I do not feel prepared. There is a lot of fucking shit going on this week!
Hi.
Yeah?
How are you?
Hi, everyone.
Are you breathing? Are you taking a sip of water right now? Don't forget to breathe. Breathing is good.
Breathing is helpful.
I have heard that. Make a cake. I don't know. Just do something that makes you happy.
Stress baking is a lot of fun.
It is.
I loved it. I stress bake a lot.
I'm gonna need to try it out.
I stress cook a lot
pick
too.
Up a violent video game.
No, that can help.
Yeah.
Rage. I re-downloaded Rage 2.
Enraged?
Yeah.
And shot things in the face, as well as the rest of them.
Yep. Anyway. Sorry about that. We digress.
No apologies needed.
Tokupitch.
At least not to me.
I am doing Uju Sentai Q Ranger. Now, I would be doing this... My first thought is to do this as the next Power Ranger adaptation. Mainly just because I think that is where it would work best as a Power Ranger adaptation.
Yeah.
So, I'm not cutting any Rangers because fuck that. The suits look too damn good.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Now, I would be changing some things about the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all already know where I'm going with this.
Well, you could just say the colors. You don't have to say the... Because since you're adapting this...
No, I know.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that in terms of what they were portrayed as in the Sentai versus this, I'm going to give Red about a Ritalin pill a little bit bigger than this. Because holy shit, he needs it.
It's a suppository.
Especially at the beginning.
Suppository. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, did I trigger something else?
Anyway, moving on.
At the beginning. Because that's mostly where he needs it.
Anyway. You gathered?
I gathered.
Anyway, Red gets a chill pill.
Okay.
I made a joke about this in a previous video, and I still stand by it. Balance is going to be Scottish. We need more Scottish Power Rangers.
It would work for balance.
It would work.
I could see him being a Scottish robot man.
And if I had a choice in actors, absolutely David Tennant.
To voice him, yeah.
Okay.
Because he's the best Scottish actor, period. Especially just with that.
I didn't know he was Scottish.
Mm-hmm.
He's not he's Scottish, but he's not.
No, he's very Scottish.
He's very Scottish, but I was comparing him to RPM Blue, who was like almost stereotypical levels of Scottish. But no, he's Scottish.
I mean, you could Capaldi. He'd be a good voice actor.
True, but I wanted someone with a little more energy. Like I don't want to say younger, but
It's different kinds of energy.
it's different kinds of energy.
Capaldi is very intense eyebrow man.
David Tennant in Genlock. I know no one else has really seen that.
DuckTales, the new one.
Yes.
Where he plays Scrooge.
He plays Scrooge with that kind of energy. He's really the only person I've thought about in terms of casting. I pretty much will keep a lot of the other things the same. Especially the orange as a double, triple agent plotline at the very beginning.
Would you extend that?
I would I don't know if I would extend it.
Because it did happen sort of quickly.
But what I would do instead of introducing him as a bad guy, I would introduce him as a member of the team, and then he'd play the traitor card to become a double agent, and then kind of do it in the middle as opposed to the very beginning, so that everybody will think that he's traitor, except for Purple, who obviously knows, and Red because he has too much faith in him as a teammate because of the camaraderie they've built since he joined the team. Also, Red is not going to be the first. He will not be the primary character in terms of we see him meet the team and become a Ranger. When the show starts, he's already a Ranger. And I'm thinking more of a Captain Marvelous vibe, but not as stoic. More of a, I don't want to say Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece, but someone who oozes charisma and leadership. Does that make sense? I'm trying to think of a tangent or a good comparison, but
Which character is this?
Red.
Maybe Ryo from Kyuuranger?
Maybe, yeah.
Although that was a little bit more ensemble.
And Purple would be more of a mentor than a leader of the team kind of thing, which is why he would not show up in battle very often. He already has his powers.
Oh, so you're not having to do that whole...
Would you think maybe somebody like Iron Man or Captain America?
Captain America, maybe.
Okay.
But not so much Golden Boy, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Whereas Balance would absolutely be more of an Iron Man. I want Balance to not only be a thief, but I want him to be the tech guy. Because I don't think they had a tech wizard on their team. They kind of had multiple people because robots.
Okay. So if we're going to do that with him, what are you going to do with Silver?
Silver's going to still be his partner in Emotionless. I love that plotline. But I'm essentially replacing his traitor plotline and putting Orange in it instead. Now, in terms of that entire arc...
Yeah, because that was Silver's arc.
That was Silver's arc. I would do it, but I wouldn't do it with the traitor aspect because I would do it with, like, he found a character. I'm still... like I said, I haven't gotten every detail out because I totally forgot about that arc when I was planning this.
It's a lot to remember.
It is a lot to remember because there's a lot of characters. Honestly, I might even scrap it entirely so we can focus on another character instead.
Who would that be?
At the same time, you sort of still had to give Silver something to do. It is his power-up.
I get, but did he really use it afterwards?
Yes.
Okay, because, The issue is that there's not enough.
Or would you lean more into him finding emotions?
Yeah,
that's sort of how he gets the power up.
That's kind of what I was more leaning in towards. I also would take away every power up Red got except Orion, the one at the end, and give it to somebody else.
Yeah, because they don't get to use it until later on.
Yeah, like Pegasus can be yellows. I can't remember the other one he got. The
Sun and Moon.
The Sun and Moon one could be. Let's give it to Green because she did not get enough. She really got put to the side.
She didn't get anything until her movie.
And they could really do something with the fact that she was not royalty, but she was like a lordship type.
She was a ninja. That whole thing.
I didn't watch her movie, so I don't know everything about
her. Mentor.
I thought she was. I thought she was some sort of
duchess,
like a duchess or something. I don't know about
duchess,
princess.
a marquise.
I think it was something along those lines.
But something we can play with that. I absolutely am sticking with the idea that the only person from Earth is Skyblue, and I'm sticking with the Rebellion arc because that is way too good to pass up.
What about Ho-Oh?
Ho-Oh, sorry, you're right. He is from Earth. I will stick with his sword because I love the cryogenically frozen thing, but he is also getting a Ridlet about half this size.
But it has to be legendary.
Shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up.
Okay, so we covered...
I'm also taking out the scene where he wakes up and destroys ships by himself.
Oh, that was... It made sense initially.
As cool as it was, as awesome as it was, it set up bitch syndrome way too quickly. Because you set his power up, you set his power so goddamn high, you're wondering why do we need the rest of the team? I'm taking out that scene, I'm replacing with something still badass. Like he takes on a monster by himself. Not takes out an entire armada. Is that fair?
Yeah. Because I'm about to say, like, at least they gave a very explicit reason as to why he did that initially.
No, I'm not saying they didn't.
Yeah.
It won't take out an armada. At least call it his Zord, for fuck's sake. Don't have him jump like this is Thor Ragnarok from ship to ship.
Okay, so we covered those characters.
No, but we can.
You said we're doing something more with green. So the only characters that we haven't really covered are blue, yellow, and pink.
And black.
And black.
But black was always kind of tied to Orange. So
and later on Sun.
And honestly, I loved his story with Orange, so I would probably keep it. Pink, her entire story was I want to be a Power Ranger. Or I'm a Power Ranger, yay. And then she was the pilot. There's too many people for everybody to get an arc in a Power Ranger length season. Mm-hmm. I've probably already pushed the limits of how many episodes that a Power Ranger season would have. This is probably going to get close to 60 at this point.
Apparently, we'll talk about some that with Dino Fury after this.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I think Blue's character will be less of, I want to kiss Lucky's ass.
You don't want him to be so much of a good boy?
Get the fuck out.
He's a dog.
He's a good boy. But I was kind of hoping for more. I want him to be either a the subspecies is not the right word, but a cousin species to Doggy Kruger and tie this to SPD.
And that way you can get those crossover episodes.
Exactly.
Okay.
I like it.
SPD failed. They SPD is they go to Earth and SPD is this threat was so big they beat SPD. That is my plot line. SPD.
Not the show failed, but the organization itself failed to defeat
Space
this
Patrol
threat.
Delta was defeated and destroyed. I want the dragon to know Doggy personally. He is one of the last remaining living members of SPD. And I don't want Blue to be related to him, but at least be of the same species.
I will say this though, because of the fact that you're doing this, Chaku has to come back. From Beast Morphers. Because Gavin's in those specials.
Does he have to?
He's in every single scene in those 2 episodes. It's really hard to cut around it.
We can always just shoot new footage.
We can always shoot new footage.
Because remember, perfect world.
Perfect world where I don't have to worry about stock footage as much. That is also... That I would tackle that bridge when we get there. Because right now this is a basic pitch. This is not the entire episode by episode plot. This is a basic pitch. Red would still get the power up because it makes sense. It doesn't make sense with anybody else. The Orion ability. I would actually keep the part where Phoenix sacrifices his powers for Red because that's the whole point of the Phoenix is to be reborn.
Yeah.
So, in terms of plot, I'm keeping a good chunk of the major, but I'm just adding some stuff with other characters, which is where I think Q Ranger failed the most, is that they focused on 3 people and everybody else had fuck off.
Well, no, they didn't focus on 3 people. That was like 4.
I meant comparison. Like, the people who got arcs, red, orange, silver, and black.
Cyan also got one. His is more tied in. But Gold was tied into silver.
Cyan got an arc, but once he got the suit, not really.
Yeah, well, he became part of that trio with orange and black.
Yeah.
And silvers, of course, and golds were always tied together.
Yeah. But my point is that a lot of these characters' arcs were group arcs, not individual looks at their character. But because there are so many people, that's fucking difficult.
12. That's a lot of characters.
Yes, it is.
I
would definitely cut... I don't know if I would cut down on Zord fights as much.
I feel like you could cut down on some of the later ones, especially...
I would definitely cut down on...
The Orb Zord. I think it's terrible.
I was going to say, I would also kind of cut down on them fighting individually. Like the actual ships. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I would use that when it's like when they need numbers, not power.
Yeah.
Like, I would be more strategic about it. Since you have that capability, what is available?
Would you keep the whole thing with the main bad guy being a body hopper, but done better than Evolto?
I don't know, actually. Part of me wants to, but part of me doesn't. I like the idea of killing him doesn't kill him.
Yeah.
But body hopping, I feel like is a bit too...
Because the only way... Q Ranger did it better than Build. Because they did sort of the whole black hole thing, and it worked a lot better because he couldn't escape. And that was a controlled one.
I think I would more have it be like Phoenix from Wizard or Cell from Dragon Ball Z. If there is a piece of him left, he can regenerate.
Yeah.
Which...
I thought that was Boo.
It's both.
It is both.
Cell can regenerate because he had Piccolo. He was part Piccolo.
Oh, okay.
And Boo was just bad.
Boo was...
That was a terrible arc. That was a bad arc. I hated that arc.
Oh, well. Can't all be winners.
I think a major point of this show, or a major theme I would be doing, is rebirth. By the way, the person who would be the audience surrogate, essentially like Lucky was in terms of joining the team and everything. It wouldn't be Red, it wouldn't be Blue, because I'm giving Blue the lieutenant, like the essentially the Joe.
Third in command.
Well, yeah. Because while Purple is the head of the team, Red is the field leader.
Yeah.
And Blue will be, Red's lieutenant kind of deal.
The reason I asked about the whole body hopping thing, because that was really, Phoenix, Hull Soldier's, his last story had to do with the fact that the main bad guy took over the body of his best friend.
The audience trigger would be Sky Blue.
So he would appear a lot earlier. He just wouldn't get the suit until later.
No, he wouldn't. But starting at Earth will give us that familiarity as opposed to starting on a whole different planet. And so he sees this team now and then decides, and then he's a stowaway. He sneaks onto the ship to help. And then eventually will earn the Sky Blue Kyutama.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot the word for a second. I would still keep Dragon's hokiness every now and then.
The oldness.
The oldness. Especially the moment where he's fighting and he has to sit for a minute.
Yeah.
And then the minions' arms just poke through the sign and like, first of all, because that's goddamn
that was just hilarious.
That was a great shot,
That was a great scene.
Yellow would still be the cook.
Got those first-person shots.
Yellow would still be the cook.
Yeah. Yeah.
I give him a little more than being, like, semi-French.
His whole thing is like his and Pink's thing were weirdly tied romantically together.
Well, it was more. He was Italian, not French.
Oh, it was Italian?
Yeah.
I knew it was some other ethnicity.
But that whole thing was like a Z plot.
Yeah, it was
between
really Z.
Yellow and Pink. I'm sitting here like, oh right, you guys. What are your names again?
Anyway, but I would try to give him. He could be happy, but I think when I think of a great cook type character, my first thought is Sanji from One Piece. So I'm thinking Sanji, but take out the pervert. Because it's not, I'm not that kind of person. I don't like that type of show. It works for Sanji, not for Power Rangers.
Yeah, I like where this is going.
It's definitely an improvement.
Yeah, it definitely needs just some fine tuning.
That's the thing. That was my thing of Q Ranger. There was a great foundation. It's just some of the pretty bits need to be fixed.
Especially a lot of the early stuff. Some of those episodes could have definitely been cut.
But I think trying to connect this to SPD would be a great way to really round out those edges. And,
yeah.
But I had another thought. I lost it. Fuck. Oh yeah, the dad.
Oh right, the past. Because that's how we got Orion. Or from his ancestor.
See, that one.
Oh, you're talking about the king. That guy. That didn't matter.
It's all kind of tied together.
Yeah.
I don't know. I definitely would kind of take out the time travels part because why? Why was that a thing? Also, if I
they did sort of explain it with how Orion was sort of lost.
I get that. I mean, we could keep it, but I can't deny that I would not try to make as many Doctor Who jokes as possible. I already am going to have Cyan be British. Sky Blue be a British kid. And so when he hears balance, he's confused. You're a robot, but you're Scottish, and you're from another planet. And he's going to go, other planets have a Scotland, and then move on.
I like that.
Other planets have a
I like that a lot.
Other planets have a north.
Which is it's absolutely a reference to the Eccleston Doctor.
Yeah.
Because when Rose talked to Eccleston for the first time, she goes, "You sound like you're from the north," as in northern Britain. He goes, "Other planets have a north," and then they just move the fuck on with the episode, and it's hysterical. Other planets have a Scotland. Moving on.
I mean, you look at something like Star Wars. You have Obi-Wan speaks with an English accent, so
yeah. Other planets have an England.
And then they just move the fuck on.
He's from the space.
And
England.
yes, I determined the ethnicity. I determined the ethnicity of two characters for one stupid reference, and it's my show. I don't give a shit because it's a great reference and a good joke.
Sometimes that's all you need, I guess.
Yeah. Also, how many British people have we had in Power Rangers? And I don't mean British, not Scottish.
Yeah, I'm not thinking about New Zealand either, because you had Chase and Xander.
I love how you say Xanda, not Xander.
That is how he says it.
I know. Hi,
I'm Xanda.
No, doesn't he always wipe his
hand? Wipe his hands first and then puts it out just to make sure it's
Xanda.
not sweaty.
I'm Xanda.
That you are, sir.
Yeah. I feel like there are definitely some things that do need
in that case, should Silver be from New Zealand too? Scottish and New Zealand? Or am I going too far? A little too far?
But yeah, I feel like there are definitely, like you said, a really good
Welsh.
adaptation here. It just definitely needs some fine tuning.
Yeah, there you go.
Other planets have whales.
And whales.
As they just
actual whales.
As they just go to the planet, and it's just people living on the backs of whales.
Yes.
But yeah,
I'm pretty sure that exists.
Bro, I feel like it just needs some fine tuning to map out the story better.
Q Ranger was good. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It
was fun.
It was a fun, good show. It just needed some tweaks here and there to be quote unquote fixed.
Really, a lot of it just needed to happen at the beginning.
I'm absolutely keeping the brother for Orange. He was a good villain.
Man, I wish he would have lasted longer.
Seriously, a good villain with a writer kick for fuck's sake.
Well, he was a writer.
Yeah,
but freaking Zengetsu. Yeah, I feel like it just needed to. He needed to stick around longer. That was the main thing. He lasted for 4, maybe 5 episodes, and then he died, and I was sad. Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, also Yellow would utilize his face spike more.
Just stabbing bitches.
Super effective.
Orange drill. This thing has a motherfucking 100% accuracy. We ain't got no 30% up in this bitch.
Yeah. My point is, I would try to
headbang your way to the championship.
I would try to have the Rangers utilize their particular skill set in battle more.
Yeah.
I would absolutely have Silver be freezing groups of enemies, and then he's like, "All right, go," and then they use the finisher on them.
Yeah, you really wouldn't have to change him up with Blue. He did a lot of acrobatics.
Yeah,
that was his main thing. I love watching him fight.
Yeah,
fun.
I would love to see Black use more wrestling moves. Also, he's played by John Cena. Can't see him. I'm kidding.
He's voiced by John
Cena. Can't see him.
Well, yeah, because he's in a voiceover booth.
Black will do this once. As a distraction. He's no. In one scene, he's walking the monster. He's like, I'll distract him.
No.
You can't see me.
I think they do have an...
He's actually going to say that.
They have...
See me.
I think they have an
and then Arn comes out from behind and stabs him.
I think they do have an invisibility Kyutama.
No, they don't, because isn't that Green's whole thing is that she can do that.
Yeah, I still don't know why she could do that.
She's chameleon.
She's just a chameleon, but there's no real.
So I don't think there's that'd be redundant if there was it'd also make her pointless.
But it'd be hilarious.
If there was an invisible Kyutama, I'm taking it out. Yeah. Because that's her thing.
I just think it would be hilarious. You can't see me, and then you just leave.
I'm also keeping the while I'm changing the execution, I'm keeping the idea of only 5 or 6 are allowed on a mission at once.
Just so they don't lose anybody?
Not just so they
don't?
No, not just that. Well, my thing is that because this is Power Rangers, I'm tying it to the Morphin Grid. That the Morphin Grid cannot handle so many Rangers morphed at once continuously over and over and over and over. It will put strain on the Morphin Grid over time.
So when...
I know that there are team-ups.
No, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about in the show. They stopped doing that a little bit.
I know. I'm saying that they will do that when it's necessary.
I was going to say also it's his show. He can, change things how he will, but...
I'm not... It's not going to be a lottery is my point. Also, not everybody will be suited to the mission at hand. If it is a more stealth mission, Black's not going. My point is that they're gonna build the team based off the needs of the mission at hand.
I like that a lot.
So, and they can't go so far because, again, it's not about if 12 people morph at once, the Morphin Grid is just going to blow up. But if 12 people morph 17, 20, 30 times, every time...
Saving it for the boss battle.
Yeah. That's like when the big bad shows up, okay. Or if the Zords are needed, if all the Zords are needed, that's fine.
And we will space out accordingly.
Yeah. And we will space out accordingly. Because you're right, after a while, the lottery thing, I guess it broke after they time traveled.
Things got a lot more serious real fast.
Also, I highly doubt those things could fit through the hole. And besides, that's more of a Japanese lottery type thing.
It is.
So it really wouldn't translate well here. And I'm not going to have them scratch stubs.
Or power balls.
That says, scratch power balls that says, you're going, you're staying. Which would be hilarious.
And then another one says, ooh, I won $50.
That would be funny. It's like, I don't get to go. Oh, I won $10. It's Earth dollars. Damn it. And then scientist shows up. I'll take that.
We're on Pluto.
Breakfast on Pluto.
We're on Sentai 6. What's going to happen here?
Go
also,
to McDonald's.
there will be a planet named. They will go to a planet named Alpha Centauri. That is where Balance is from, and yes, that is another Doctor Who reference. I don't give a shit. It's my show.
Fair enough.
All right, though.
I think I have a solid show here.
I absolutely agree. I like what you got.
I would bring Joss Whedon in for some guest directing because he can handle. I feel like he handles big groups pretty well in terms of action. But we'll see.
Oh yeah. All right.
Do you guys have any recommendations for cast? Because I had no time to cast 12 people.
I don't either. I can't even think of it.
No, I mean, I liked everything you said so far, so...
I will also state that, yes, I have a British guy and a Scottish guy. I would still make this a racially diverse cast.
Of course.
They're not. It's not going to be like a BBC show where they're all from Britain, with like maybe one black guy. But if I do have a black guy, he'll be able to ride a bike. And yes, that is another Doctor Who joke.
Next time it's my turn.
Is it? It is, isn't it? At least I get to go back to Kamen Rider. God, Sentai is so much harder.
Yeah.
So, do you have any ideas on what you're going to pitch?
I sort of want to do an Ultraman.
Okay, that'd be nice.
I have an idea for Ultraman. No, simply because it's a little late. Orb though.
Ooh,
I could do Orb. I'll do Ultraman Orb.
All right.
This should be interesting.
Ooh, I just had an idea for my next one, and it's not a Sentai writer or Ultraman.
Is it Garo?
It's Garo.
I thought so.
I was thinking the same thing.
It's your turn. It's your turn first. So if you take Garo,
I mean, we could both pitch a Garo
We
twice
could
in
do
a
that
row.
because
There's nothing saying
also,
we have
can do
to.
it together like we did Forzak.
We could.
We'll figure it out. But anyway,
We'll
let us
see.
know what you think of the pitch in the comment below. Would you pick it up? As always, follow us on all the things. And we have certain things that might be familiar with what's going on, but please always know that our area, our community is a safe place. Is a safe place if you need to discuss something that you're not comfortable talking about with other people. The only people who are really not allowed in our community are assholes, bigots, racists, and Trump supporters. Unfortunately, fall under all those categories. But as always, this is the Tokucast. We love you all, and we'll see you next time.
And don't forget to vote.
Yes.
Yes.
I literally did that
If you live in the United States.
If you live in the United States and you are old enough to vote, please vote, and please vote once. Do not listen to him and vote twice.
Yes.
So he told people to do that. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Don't forget to join us on all the things.